Phew, phew. Hello and welcome to a special episode of Depth of the Night with Abu Shabah. Tonight we turn our attention once again to Lebanon, where a tragic case shocked many and spurred heated debates about family welfare and protective laws. The story is often referred to as the murder of Rola Yaacoub. She was a young mother living in the northern city of Tripoli, reportedly recognized by her neighbors for her warmth and devotion to her children. Yet in July 2013, news spread that Rola had been found lifeless in her home under circumstances that raised immediate suspicions. According to media reports from that period, some neighbors and relatives heard an argument before discovering Rola unresponsive. There were claims that she might have been facing harm or intimidation. This led to protests and calls for stronger protective measures in Lebanon, where many argue the laws and enforcement mechanisms against domestic violence have historically been insufficient. Once law enforcement arrived on the scene, uncertainty surrounded whether Rola's death was a direct result of violence or if some other complications were involved. Conflicting narratives emerged. Some stated she had been harmed during a dispute, whereas others suggested a more ambiguous factor might have led to her demise. What did remain clear was the broad public concern that any hint of abuse required decisive investigation. The tragedy propelled advocacy groups to urge officials to pursue the matter without delay, insisting that no life should be lost under suspicious or violent conditions. Rola's name quickly became a symbol in Lebanon's discussions about strengthening laws that address family-related harm. Vigils were held, and journalists repeatedly highlighted the necessity for clarity and justice in cases of sudden death, especially in situations where domestic conflict might have played a role. Although details differ based on various sources, her case is widely cited as a turning point in driving awareness about vulnerable individuals within the home. And that concludes this episode of Depth of the Night with Abu Shabah. The murder of Rola Yaacoub stands as a haunting reminder of how critical it is to recognize warning signs and to ensure that legal protections are effectively enforced. May this story compel us all to advocate for transparency and accountability, so that individuals experiencing distress can be shielded before tragedies unfold. And as I always say, may you awaken with awareness, not just well.